Carry here, just a large potato. And this is what if Asta had fire magic / abilities. Part, 2. So yeah, this is part 2. What's it called? Part 1 was uploaded yesterday. But yeah, now let me begin to explain one thing. So Asta's personality is different from, original canon personality. Instead of like what's called canon, kind of like growing up to love people, try to help people and all that. And in this one, he hates kind of almost anyone. He hates anyone. He likes a couple people, but he hates almost everyone. But yeah, this is where Asta's personality is similar to Benjimaru personality, also known as Benjimaru or Shinma Benjimaru. But yeah, he is going to have different personalities, a little bit, but not really. He still is kind, somewhat, not much, but yeah. But of course, that's not the point. Let me go into, the what if, and let me shut the fuck up. But yeah, also, let me mention something. Part 2 for what if Asta had had a ability to take magic away. I think that's what I call it. Mostly it was just called All for One, but yeah. But whatever. But yeah, let me go into this what if and let me shut the fuck up. But yeah. Okay. Ding. But whatever. So, we go into Asta right now at the residence, or at the village called Fire Village. Yeah, the village is just called Fire Village. Because of the fact that people don't have magic in this place. Or somewhat. They're actually, near what to call. This village is kind of near a very powerful, dense magic of like fire and volcanoes. And of course, mostly lava and all that. Some people get used to the magic here. Some people just doesn't feel the magic. And some people with their fire abilities are able just to handle the heat pretty easily. Now, they're surrounded by volcanoes, as you mentioned. And they are on somewhat top of a kind of like, not used volcano. Like the volcano hasn't been like active for like such a long fucking year. So of course, they kind of built a village here. Of course, there's always a lot of destruction in this village. Boom, boom, blowing up things. Some people drinking a lot. Some people eating a lot. But yeah, when they heard about, the heir of the Shinma clan, because yes, this is, there's a clan called the Shinma clan. They kind of all got wild seeing that Asta has 2 grimoires. One with a 5-leaf and one with a 4-leaf. They were extremely happy for Asta. Of course, people call him Shinma. Some people call him Benjimaru. And, like Conroe calls him Asta. This is where, Conroe kind of sighs, but kind of sees everyone is celebrating. This is where, Asta is kind of like drinking some, like, what's called whiskey. Or rum or whatever you like to call it. But of course, he's drinking it from like a little, like, round bowl and all that. Like those small round balls. But yeah. But of course he's drinking it, and of course, Connor knows that Asta is not supposed to drink it at his age, like being the age of like 15/16. The reason why is because, no one really cares. It's because, this is a fucking place for 0 rules half the damn time. There's 0 rules in this place. But a lot of civilians just like living in this place because it's wild and crazy, yes, and some of the crime rate they kind of go up a little bit, but there's not much crime in this village. Really, everyone who is someone like thugs, crooks, and whatever, kind of like this village because they go crazy and wild. Like, it's always a celebration every night. Not really, but yeah, sometimes it's a special occasion and everyone goes wild. Just like the fact that Asta got 2 grimoires. They know that Asta is the most powerful one. Even when he was a young age, he was very powerful. This is where, we go into a flashback of when Asta was 12 years old. Kind of training under, kind of training with, Habashi Shinma. This is where Habashi was kind of using some fire attacks at Asta. This is where, Asta was dodging, but of course, this is where, Asta then copied the same fire techniques that, Habashi was doing. This is where Habashi notices it and was amazed. But of course, with Asta's eyes that transform into an O and X, he can ignite things and also, well, manipulate the things. But yeah. This is where, well, he can also cancel fire easily. This is where, well, Habashi Shima was pretty happy for having an heir like Asta. And of course, where, well, even though Asta's only adopted, he doesn't really care. But yeah. Asta was already that powerful when he was 12 years old, able to cope techniques pretty easily, and able to ignite and control his flames pretty easily. But of course, we go back into Asta and the celebration. Everyone's going fucking wild. This is where, well, everyone except for Asta and Conroe. But yeah. Conroe says, you know what we should do, Asta? This is where Asta says, well, train. You know, get you stronger. You know, because you need to become stronger so you can go into the magic night. No, not the fucking happening. This is where a girl kind of like falls off, like she kind of trips and falls into, well, Asta. And this girl has like longish black hair, kind of yellowish eyes that are kind of similar to a cat. And of course, she had kind of like these cat ears, somewhat. They were made out of fire, like these red flames. And her name is Tokamaki. This is where she doesn't have clothes and also says, put on some damn clothes. Jesus fucking Christ, Tokamaki. Why you have no clothes half the damn time? Tokamaki says, I'm sorry. This is where, well, Asta says, God damn it. Where's Shinrai? Well, not Shinrai. He says, where is, what's it called? Where's Maki when you need her? God damn it. Maki and Tokamaki are similar age towards, well, Asta. Now, the reason why I said I'm gonna change, well, I didn't put Shinrai in it, is because, well, I want to actually make the fact, well, in the latest, well, not latest, in a future what if, I want to actually kind of transfer Shinrai into a world similar with Asta, and so, yeah. Or not Asta, with Naruto, because they both like ramen. So yeah, I might do an isekai with, what's it called? Well, not isekai. Yeah, isekai? Or transfer world? I don't fucking remember. Whatever that name is, but whatever. But of course, well, so question. I actually wanted to give Shinrai's abilities towards Asta, so I don't know. Because usually I was gonna give, well, let me mention the abilities that Asta kinda has right now. He does have Benjamar's abilities. He does have, well, Ace abilities of fire, manipulation, Rengoku, Madara, Dabi, and even Rin. Rin from, well, Blue, what's it called? This guy named Rin from Blue Exorcist, so yeah. But of course, he kind of has similar abilities to all of them. Well, not similar, almost the same. I was going to give Shinrai's fire-like ability, so yeah. That's what I'm going to do. So, of course, this is where, well, Asta says, just put on some damn clothes and leave me alone, Tokamaki. Tokamaki says, yeah, sure. This is where, well, this is what Conroe says. I'm surprised you don't actually just, like, well, have fun with her. She's nice, isn't she? Asta says, fun? Don't know what the fuck the meaning fun is. Conroe says, god damn it, Asta. Whatever. But still, we gotta train you into becoming, well, what's it called? A magic? No, I'm not being a magic knight. Come on, Asta. It's not that bad. Yes, it is. It seems like a terrible idea. Come on. Come on. This is where, well, we go into a time skip of 3 months later. This is where, well, you know, Yoshina, I remember calling her Yoshina. Well, I'm gonna call her Yoshina instead. What's it called? As if this girl with blonde hair, well, two kind of ponytails and what's it called, blonde hair, has still blue eyes. Her name is Junko. And of course, well, next to her is a girl with also similar two ponytails, but has black hair and has one of her eyes covered up with an eye patch, well, white eye patch, who has this kind of four-leaf grimoire that kind of similar, has a clock in it also. She is what's called named Karumi, but yeah. They are getting towards, well, the kind of like Clover Kingdom. They get to the Clover Kingdom and they kind of go into an exam. This is where someone is also there that, well, you know, didn't expect to see. And that is, well, Asta, also known as Shinma Benjamaru. That's what Naruto, but sorry, I was thinking of the wrong character. Asta's, well, actual name is, Asta is just a name that was his original name, but he didn't like it, so yeah. So, of course, Asta kind of, like, signed up with both grimoires. He didn't know which grimoire he had to sign up with, but he didn't give a shit. So, of course, multiple people are kind of, like, looking at, well, some of the anti-magic birds. Now, all the anti-magic birds wanted to go towards Asta, because they barely sent a scrap of magic. This is where fire appears, burning all of them. Even, well, what's it called, Nero's almost burned. Nero widened her eyes, realizing that Asta has a very powerful fire ability that allows him to burn anything that gets close to him. Now, of course, Asta has his eyes kind of closed, and barely able to see his eyes, because he didn't put on glasses or anything, shades, whatever. Of course, he kind of cracks him even one eye open, and sees the whole freaking exam starting. This is where, everyone is kind of like getting on a broom and all that, and this is where, everyone is like, yeah, they're flying. Some of them, like, who is blessed with magic and like loved by Magna, is flying pretty easily. This is where, Asta just doesn't seem to care that much. He doesn't seem to kind of grab the broom. He just looks at it and says, it isn't just like the other ones that I use to burn up. Because the other ones can handle my fire. This would just burn up pretty damn easily. This is where, he lets go of the broom. He starts taking off his boots and all that, and people are confused. This is where, Asta takes off his boots, kind of puts him on the ground. And this is where, Asta kind of like ignites his like feet with fire and starts kind of flying up. This is where, he's saying, this is boring. This is where, everyone wind their eyes. Asta can just fly with just using the fire. This is where wind his eyes. He can do that by using a wind arc or a wind style to kind of like fly. But he never thought Asta can just like ignite his feet into fire. This is where, one person is kind of watching this from some with the shadows. She is smiling with this kind of evil grin. She kind of knows where Asta might be going. Somewhere that people doesn't like freaks like him. This is where, we keep going into the different exam things. And of course, the second exam thing is kind of shooting the target with a attack. This is where Asta just snapped his fingers like 4 times, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like in front of him. This is where fire ignited in front of him and just like sending fire like arrows or whatever straight through the target, smashing upon them. This is where, Asta says pathetic. Now Asta does have like one of his kimono like out of his like sleeve and all that. And of course, just like wearing it similar like Benjabaro is wearing, like this. He's wearing it like this. But yeah. But of course, the next matches are kind of creating what to do on fire. This is where, what Asta does is create a miniature like circle. This is where he says, fire style, fire sun. This is where, he then just breathes in, and this is where he does a palm strike through the fire sun, sending very powerful flames that almost burn half the competition. That's where all of them say that Asta's fucking crazy. Asta seems to care less and doesn't give a shit that much. This is where, the person in the shadows is just grinning even more. This is where, she says, good to know that he's still as reckless and evil as when he was younger. This is where, we go into the next match, and that is the kind of fighting competition. This is where, Asta is going against this noble who thinks he's able to use fire magic against Asta. Now, they don't know which family, which status, or whatever that Asta is. Because the fact that Asta doesn't have a status. This is where, this fire noble was kind of, not from the Vermilion family, but was similar to the Vermilion family. Or like beyond cousins, whatever. Or like long cousins or whatever. Just far away cousins mostly. This is where he had very powerful fire magic. And this is where, he says, I will defeat you. Fire style. Fire. Roaring lion. This is where a lion that's made out of fire rushes towards Asta. This is where, Fuegoleon notices and sees, good improvement for very powerful fire. This is where, Asta, who's just standing there, just like open both of his eyes. One has an X, one has an O. And this is where, when Yami was looking at Asta's eyes, widen his eyes. He says, wait, those are. No, it can't be. I guess that's what Conroe kind of did. That's where, well, Asta just snapped his fingers one and the line disappears. Like the line just gets cancelled. That's where, Asta says, you really are pathetic. Sending fire against me. You really are stupider than I thought. That's where, well, the noble says, but how? No, no, no. I will not lose to whatever you are. You could be a commoner and you're just pathetic or whatever. That's where, well, Asta seems to be very calm and quiet. And of course, well, half the people who are watching this are hoping that Asta's actually a commoner. Some people think that he's royal, and definitely royal, because there's no way in hell Asta looks that good and is not royal. This is where, well, someone is watching him from kind of like hiding behind a pillar, and she has white hair and like pinkish eyes, and of course watching this and saying, whoa, he's strong. Like, she can barely sense the magic, but she can just see that this person is physically strong and also just very powerful in magic. Of course, this is where, well, no one is actually paying attention towards Asta's eyes. They're just mostly paying attention to his face. This is where, well, they're also paying attention to how he moves and all that. He moves very calmly. This is where, well, the only person that's paying attention to his eyes are, well, Yoshima, Yoshima, Yuno, and Asta, Karumi, and Junko, and even Noelle. And even some captains that notice about Asta's eyes. Fuegoleon noticed his eyes and were confused about those eyes. He thought he'd seen them familiar. Even Nozel thought he'd seen them before. This is where, well, when Asta's getting closer to the noble, Asta just lunges at him by kind of kicking him in the stomach, then grabbing one of his arms, twisting it, then grabbing the other arm and just breaking it, then breaking behind his like knees, mostly his legs, by kicking them behind his like legs and all that, because yes, Asta was behind fast enough. And of course, where, well, when Asta breaks one of his person's like legs by pushing him forward, by kind of like making him be like falling forward, Asta, he doesn't have like shoes on, and of course mostly like boots on, and of course decides to like increase the fire between his feet fast enough to kind of like spin kick this guy in the head. This is where the guy gets knocked the fuck out. Asta says, was that really all you had? This is where the person could not react fast enough towards Asta, and was shocked that Asta was moving forward towards him. He thought that Asta had a very powerful fire magic that was able to burn him in like very close combat. No, Asta just beat his ass. Asta didn't give a shit. Asta was walking away until, well, Yuno says, fight me, Asta. This is where, well, William says, wait, can you, this is where Asta says, why should I? Didn't I kick your ass like last time? I don't really need to fight you again. I already know you're really, well, too damn annoying. This is where, well, Yuno says, why you? Wind arrow. He sends a wind arrow at Asta, but this is where Asta just like pulls out the anti-magic sword and blocks it. Yes, the demon sayer. He just destroys it. He just like cuts it. Yes, he can easily pick it up with one hand instead of two hands, because you see here, Asta's physically strong. And I should mention that Asta's height is not 5'1". He's actually taller than that. He is 5'7". Asta is like 5'7". This is where Asta looks at, well, Yuno, and says, are you done? This is where, well, Yuno says, not even close. This is where Yuno starts rushing at Asta, sending multiple attacks. This is where, well, Asta, who just sees all the attacks getting closer to him, and looks like they're about to hit him, Asta sighs and says, fine. He like breathes in and out, and this is where he breathes in again, and says, fire style. Fire roar. This is where he sends a very powerful fire like blazing from his mouth straight towards Yuno. Yuno widens his eyes. He didn't expect us to just send fire from his mouth. This is where Yuno tries to block it with wind, but of course just burns through it and hits him, because fire is more powerful than wind half the damn time. This is where, well, with that happening, but of course this is where, well, Yuno was right now burnt a little bit, and this is where he looks at Asta. This is where, well, Asta says, you done now? This is where Yuno says, not even close. Wind saw, wind punch. This is where he tries to make like wind gather up in his hand and send it as like a ball straight towards Asta. He didn't really want to like to hold in his hand, but this is where Asta noticed what is doing. Asta decides to run faster to him, like rush at him. This is where, well, he did like put the Demon Slayer down and rushes at Yuno. Yuno went in his eyes. This is where he couldn't make the wind ball big enough. When he tries to thrust his arm, Asta grabs his arm, breaks it, smashes him down to the ground, and sit the fuck down. Like, Asta just decided to give no mercy towards Yuno. Yuno was kind of making this too damn slow. Asta was quite annoyed, saying, "Sit the hell down. I'm so damn tired to deal with your shit." Yuno's like, "I can't give up." He passes out. This is where, what? Asta says, "Idiot." This is where Asta gets up and starts walking away, and so many people are like saying, "Hell no, no one's fucking with Asta." This is where, well, they all realize one thing. Asta hasn't even used his grimoire once. His fire one, he did use the, like, well, other one, but first of all, everyone realized that Asta has two grimoires. And the nobles who are actually watching this realize that Asta is definitely noble status. Because no way in hell a commoner has two grimoires. Yeah. Yeah, everyone thinks that. This is where Asta, he just ignores everyone. And this is where, well, Asta kind of like gets the demon. So I put it back in the demon, well, mostly the 5-leaf grimoire, and just walked away. This is where, well, he says I didn't even need to use anti-magic flames. Shit. I definitely would have killed everyone here. This is where, well, the kind of selection is happening. And this is where, well, someone appears right next to, well, Fogolian, and kind of like wrap his arms with like fire around him, and of course making him not be able to raise his hands when Asta came up. This is where next is Shinma Benjamaru, who actually came up to be, well, his number was called 152, so yeah. This is where, well, a bunch of people are thinking that he's going to be raised up by everyone's hands. Like, everyone is going to raise up their hands and try to choose him as, well, they're kind of like, what's it called? Own. This is where every captain wanted to raise up their hands and realize one thing. They can't raise up their hands. This is where they look down and see fire. The only person that can use fire right now is Fogolian. Looks at Fogolian, and Fogolian also has fire in his arms. He's like, wait, what? This is where Yami raises up his hand and says, "Hey, kid, it's been such a long time. I know Mariona did kind of like put fire around her brother and her, the other squad, so I can try to choose you. Don't you remember me?" This is where, well, also looked at, well, what's it called? Well, Yami says, Shinma kid, mostly. This is where, well, also says, "Oh, you're Yami. It's been a while." This is where Yami says, "Yeah, it's really been a while. So, how about you join my squad and ignore Mariana's, like, little brother protest and all that." This is where, well, everyone realized one thing. Yami knows this kid, and this is where they heard Mariana did this. This is where Mariana is right behind, well, Noelle, grabbing her and kind of putting her next to the Black Bulls. This is where Mariana says, "Hey guys," or she says, "Hey there, brat. It's been a while." Asta says, "Oh, it's you. Don't tell me you forgot my name. It's Mariana, right?" This is where, well, she says, "Of course." This is where, well, Yami says, "I completely forgot her name. What was her name again?" Sylvia. This is where she almost was about to punch the shit out of Yami. Yami says, wait. This is a squad thing. You can't just punch me." That's where Mariana says, "I don't give a shit if it's public or not." This is where, well, Yami says, wait, come on. You told me to kind of get the kid." This is where, well, Mariana says, "Yeah. Fuck sake, you idiot." This is where, well, she then says, "Okay, so Shinma Benjamaru is now in the squad of the Black Bulls. Here she go, and here we go." She mostly throws a Black Bull robe at, well, Asta. Asta grabs it and says, "Really? Why?" "Well, too bad. You're gonna have to be in the squad because I don't want you to be anywhere near my stupid brother's squad." This is where Fogolian says, "Hey, wait, what? Wait, Mariana, how do you know this kid? How stupid can you be, Fogolian? You already met the kid. Even half of you fucking met the kid before. Did you not remember going to what's it called 5 years ago, kind of going to the Shima residence, the fire residence? I kind of brought you all there so I can actually kind of bully you into the volcanoes. That's where everyone kind of remembers that, even Charlotte, like, huh? This is where they remember an old man laughing at all of them. Couldn't even, like, stand on the, like, lava because some of them almost got burned. Even with their mana skin, they were almost burned to a crisp. Thanks to, well, an old man named Shibaku Shinma had to kind of help them once. Had to make them use a lot of flow of mana to their feet so they wouldn't burn pretty easily. This is where, well, Mariana always tried to fight against the old man, but the old man always kind of kicked their ass pretty easily. This is where, well, let me say that again. Hibachi, his name was Hibachi, and the ship Hibachi was always laughing at them, being complete idiots half the damn time. Even though they were magic level knight captains, they're still kind of weak as hell. Mariana was the only one that could actually push him to kind of use more power than normal. That's where, well, Yami was also someone that actually could push him, but not much. So yeah, this is where all the captains can remember that old man. And of course, he was crazy half the damn time. Because fighting him was like fighting a goddamn brick wall. They couldn't jump over it. So yeah. But of course, do you remember a kid who was kind of there, like sitting next to Hibachi? Shinma, also known as, well, this kid was named Benjimaru Shinma. Also known as, well, they didn't really know his real name, but only Yami and, well, Mariana kind of found out his real name, named Asta. But really, he called himself Benjimaru most of the time. Most of the time. This is where, well, what's it called? Hibachi kind of says to me his heir, well, mostly adopted heir kid, who is named Benjimaru Shinma. And this is where, well, Asta at that time protests and says that his name was Benjimaru. Because Asta, when he was younger, was kind of like rebellious to the old man. And of course, a little bit half the damn time. You know how with older people, they're kind of always rebellious, like Sanji. Or, yeah, similar like that. And this is where, well, Asta says, why don't you just kick the bucket, old man? This is where, well, Hibachi kind of hits him in the head most of the time. But yeah, this is where, well, when they were younger. Or mostly when Asta was younger. But yeah. This is where most of the captains now remember Asta. And how Asta was very powerful at that time. When he was 10 years old, he can actually fight Nozel to a standstill, almost kick the shit out of him. If it wasn't for Hibachi kind of like kicking the shit out of Nozel, Nozel's pride would have definitely went down. And this is where, well, Mariana says, so Noel, do you remember him? This is where Noel says, wait, what? Wait, I know now who you are. You're Benjimaru. Noel and Benjimaru mostly met when they were younger, mostly Asta. When, yeah, they were like 10 years old. Because you see here, Noel was brought along by Mariana because Mariana always did try to train Noel another. Or try to comfort her, yeah. And did bring her towards the residence of the fireplace. And of course, Asta and Noel did kind of become friends, somewhat. Even though Asta was kind of cold-blooded when he was younger, Mariana did kind of force him to kind of be with Noel. Mostly like friends. So of course, this is where, well, Asta knows about, well, Noel. This is where Asta then forgets, but Noel did kind of forget because of the fact that she was bullied most of the time of her life. This is where, well, one thing that kind of came through his mind, well, Nozel's mind, was the kid that was about to kick his ass when he was younger, yes, when Asta was like 10 years old, is kind of friends with Noel. And if Noel kind of tells, well, Benjimaru, also known as Asta, about all the terrible things that his family did to her, he's gonna probably get his ass kicked because, yes, Asta seems to be more powerful than normal than he was like 5 years ago. So yeah, this is where, well, Asta says, oh, Noel, it's nice to see you. This is where Noel says, yeah, it's nice to see you also. Her face becomes kind of red now because Asta looked completely different when he was younger. Of course, well, Mariana kind of noticed and says, so this little Noel finally found someone to like. This is where Noel says, no. She passes out, but yeah. Asta kind of grabs her and says, is she okay? This is where, well, Mariana says, yeah, she'll be fine. This is where Yami says, what just happened? This is where, well, Fenor says, you're denser than I thought. Gordon says, more friends. Whisper. This is where Mariana punches Yami in the head and says, you are extremely dense. You fucking idiot. This is where Yami says, "Ow, what the hell is that for?" But this is where, well, the other people that are down there are kind of like looking at Asta and seeing that he's definitely royal, because there's no way in hell that not a royalty doesn't know about the captains. Like, the captains seem familiar with Asta now. This is where, well, what's it called? The only person that doesn't know exactly about Asta is Williams. He does remember fighting against Habashi, and Habashi remembers beating his ass. Even if, well, one time he kind of knocked the shit out of, well, Williams one time, and Williams was about to become into the elf, the light elf and all that, and still the light elf got his ass kicked so damn hard with Habashi. Habashi didn't give a shit, and whichever personality that what William become. So of course William kind of remembers Habashi and was scared. He never did fight against, well, Asta, because Asta seemed very powerful on fire, and seems to be a very counterverse part towards his, like, world tree. So he never decided to fight him. But right now, seeing this, he can't even raise up his hands to kind of get Asta into his, like, group. This is where, well, he doesn't mind that much neither. Unlike Nozel, who's actually extremely pissed and saying, "Hey, can you fucking let go of me? I'm trying to, well, raise up my hand for, well, the kid. Because this is supposed to be an eco vote here. Who wants him?" This is where Mario says, "Oh, shut up there, what's it called? Stupid hairstyle, kid." This is where, well, Nozel says, "My hair is beautiful. What the hell do you mean? Stupid." This is where, well, Yami says, "I wonder how long he ever took that hairstyle. How long do you think it took him to kind of make that hair?" This is where Asta says, "It's probably some dresser or whatever, some hair cutter dude person, barber tried to make his hair. It probably came out shitty, not the way he wanted. He probably wanted two of them." This is where Yami starts laughing and chuckling. This is where Marina also kind of giggles a little bit, but yeah. This is where, well, when Noelle, she still passed out. This is where, well, Noelle, "I'm gonna kill all three of you." This is where Yami says, "Bring it on, you fucking pathetic hairstyle." This is where, well, Mariana says, "Then bring it on." Asta says, "Chuh, I can probably kick your ass. If I kicked your ass when I was younger, I could probably do the same." This is where, Nozel says, wait, no. Before he even lets Asta kind of talk from just saying that he kicked his ass when he was younger, he says, "Hey, wait, no." He kind of scripted out. This is where, well, he says, "Oh, it's just the things that are burning me. Fucking help me." This is where, well, the other squads are saying, "Wait, what?" This is where I'll remember one thing. When they remember Nozel fighting against, well, Asta, they remember Asta, he was still 10 years old, was still managing to kick the shit out of one Nozel. This is where half of them almost, like, start laughing. Because, well, Asta was about to just, like, talk about out loud that he almost kicked his ass when he was, like, 10 years old, but yeah. This is where, well, all of them was about to start giggling and laughing. This is where, well, Nozel realized one thing. They're all laughing at him. This is where, well, Asta says, "Look at that. What's it called, Nozel? It could be they can't remember." This is where, well, all of them, Nozel glares at all of them and says, "Screw you all." But yeah. This is where, well, the next kind of contestants are there. This is where, well, Estef kind of joins the Blue Rose. Junko also joins the Blue Rose. Karumi decides to join the Black Bulls. What's it called? Well, not, yeah. What's it called? Junko, she decides to join the Black Bulls. Karumi, she joined with, what's it called, the Pink Flamingos. What's it called? Yoshina and Yuno kind of joined, what's it called, the kind of Golden Dawn. And of course, a lot of people were kind of just like distraught, and some of them not joining, some of them seeing that also joined. And just like, some people wanted to join the Black Bulls a lot more, because thanks to Asta's kind of revelation about how he is one of the strongest. This is where, well, Asta just seemed to ignore half of them. But this is where, well, Yami did kind of get a couple extra people to join the Black Bulls, but yeah. A girl with, what's it called, like, blackish hair and like bluish, like bright bluish eyes joined. Her name is, what's it called? Her name was Maturu, and of course, where, well, her last name was correct, but yeah. That's why, well, she kind of had like two ponytails that were short with her black hair, but yeah. It wasn't long black hair, but yeah. Well, I mean, it was long, but yeah. She had like a jacket on, and of course, she didn't really have a shirt underneath, but yeah. That's why Asta doesn't seem to care that much. of course, where, well, Noel and Junko kind of told her to put on a shirt or something. This is where Finner was like having a blood nose and saying, nah, don't do that. It's fine. This is where, well, the Black Bull robe had managed to cover up, but yeah. This is where, well, Finner says, damn it. But of course, he almost did get shot by dark magic from her, but yeah. This is where, well, next was someone else who was able to kind of use what car. Well, he was able to use kind of similar wind magic towards Yuno, but his wind magic wasn't that strong, but he decided to join anyway. Well, got a chance to join. He's able to kind of use like wind manipulation to kind of make wind swords like in hand-to-hand combat. Similar to what Fanzel can do, or not Fanzel, what am I talking about? Kruger can do. So yeah, you know how Kruger can do something like similar to that, but has to use a stick to kind of add wind magic. He can just make like blades from thin air, kind of like make it like that. He doesn't actually need like a physical object to kind of make a weapon like that. But yeah, of course, he can also, his wind magic is similar to that of like knights. He can create armor also around him, but yeah. But the most armor that he can make is like chainmail armor. But yeah, he hasn't actually created anything stronger than that. This is where, well, next to him, well, I should mention that his hair color is actually like whitish a little bit. Well, a little bit like grayish a little bit. His eyes are kind of like these, kind of like, I should say, purplish color a little bit. And of course, well, he kind of wears some, like a gray shirt and gray pants, but yeah. That's where he's yawning a little bit because he didn't sleep that well neither. He has a 3-leaf grimoire while the girl has also 3-leaf grimoire. That's where someone else kind of joined, and his name was what's it called? Well, someone named Karum, and his magic has, well, the grimoire. Well, mostly the grimoire has 3-leaf grimoire, but of course his magic is able to make clones. Any type of magic clones he needs to think of. He can make it out of wood, he can make it out of earth, he can make it out of fire. But yeah, he can also make his clones just out of thin air. Yeah, the maximum amount of clones that he can do are kind of like 4 clones, but yeah. But Yami thought that he had a lot of potential. Even also thought that he had more potential than that. So of course, Asta they kind of like made Yami kind of get him. So Karan was happy to actually be on a squad, even though he's actually from a kind of like commoner family, but yeah. He actually didn't actually know about his parents. The wind guy does know about his parents. He knows he's from a common status. And the girl, who's named Mato, kind of knows that she's only from a common status. Almost everyone from a common status. But Yami didn't care and says, welcome to the Black Bulls, when they all kind of get through from Finno's portal. And Finno says, damn, I'm going to have to transfer a lot of people. God damn it. But whatever. At least there's some very amazing females here. He's like, right now, like, steam comes out of his nose, but yeah. This is where Gordon is whispering, but yeah. No one can actually hear him except for Asta. And when they get to the Black Bulls, kaboom! That's where Asta kind of sees the, just, not mass genocide, mostly the kind of mess that all of them are doing. Asta seems to be okay with them. He doesn't really care. He actually gets reminded so much of, well, the fire residents. And this is where, Conroe is there, kind of just like, sitting on the couch. This is where Vanessa's kind of putting him a drink. And this is where Austin notices and kind of has his eye just twitching a little bit. This is where everyone says, well, mostly they all hear Yami like breaking the wall and saying, shut up, all of you. This is where the new recruits kind of sweat drop. That's where Asta seems to not sweat drop that much. He actually doesn't actually sweat drop. He actually has seen what's it called. Yami did this before, but mostly in the Shinma kind of like place with Habashi and, well, Asta being inside a room and all that. And while, well, what's called, Yami was drinking a lot. And even Mariana one time, well, like 5 years ago and all that. And like the place, this is where Yami like smashed the wall, broke it down. And this is where, well, Yami was flying towards the lava, well, kind of like lava side of the volcano. Reason why is because Habashi kicked him so hard and said, motherfucker, if you're gonna destroy things, you destroy things in your own place, fuck. But yeah. This is where, well, Yami, he did that. And of course, he looks at Asta, looking, seeing if he was going to do anything. Asta says, well, this isn't my place. It's not like I'm what's it called, Habashi. I'm not going to kick you across to find a volcano. And besides, the place you kind of live, there's no volcano, so I can't kick you there. Yummy says, I guess you can't. But still, I'm not letting some pipsqueak like you try to kick me. This is where, Asta says, whatever. So, this is mostly what the Black Bull, what's it called, older members of the Black Bulls. He kind of points out all of them. This is where Yummy says, yep, then why the fuck is Conroe here? This is where Conroe says, I can explain Asta. Just let me explain. This is where everyone kind of heard Asta's actual real name for the first time. Mostly everyone that was there, except for Yami. Yami already knew about Asta's kind of actual name. Was somewhat. Mostly Habashi did call Asta either Benjamaru or even Asta because usually he didn't care that much. This is where Asta glares at Conroe and says, why do you call me that name every fucking single time? This is where Conroe says, because it's your actual name. So let's just put the past away and let's kind of celebrate about you kind of joining the Black Bulls. I feel like it was your plan to make me forced to be here so the Black Bulls can pick me. What is your fucking plan? Conroe says, no plan. Let's drink. He pulls out like a wine bottle and of course they start kind of drinking. Mostly Conroe's trying to drink so he doesn't need to talk to us about the plan. This is where Vanessa says, yeah, let's drink. Everyone else is kind of going wild still. Mostly Luck and Magna. But this is where, Magna says, okay, who's the newbie here? That's where, Yummy kind of puts his hand and just puts him all around, what's it called? He waves his hand on top of all the people who are new. One is Shinma Benjamaru. The other is Noelle. The third one is Junko. The fourth one is Karumi. The sixth one is Mato. Seventh one is named, what's it called? I think I didn't even give him a name. Wait, let me actually give him a name. His name is Kaze. And of course this eighth one is named what's it called Kano. But of course Magna says, I see. Luck says, I'll be fighting against that guy. He points at Shinma Benjamaru because, he can see that Asta seems to be very powerful. And this is where, Magna says, no fair. What happened if he's a fire user? And Asta says, I'll take both of you on. This is where, Luck and Magna says, oh, cocky you are. This is where, this is where they say, oh, cocky you are. Well, let's do it then. Connor spits out wine a little bit. And this is where he says, wait, don't. This is where, what's it called? Magna starts sending multiple fireballs at Asta. This is where Asta extinguishes all of them. This is where when Luck tries to hit him with a punch, Asta grabs his fist and just smash him upon, he throws him straight towards Magna. And Magna's like, wait, look. They smash into the wall and that's where, they get up and says, now we're fire up. This is where Luck says, yeah, you're strong. This is where, Magna says, that's it. He brings out a fire bat and brings out a fireball. And this is where he says, multi-shot. He hits the ball of fire and this is where multiple fire attacks starts hitting Asta. Or going towards Asta. This is where Luck starts sending lightning balls at, Asta. Asta, he sighs and this is where he snaps his fingers, to the side of him. He kind of he puts his left arm towards the right side of him. He snaps his fingers, and this is where he swings the hand motion, vertical in front of him, destroying all of the fireball and lightning balls away. That's where both Magna and Luck were just smiling, seeing how powerful Asta was. Asta, who dodges an attack, then dodges another attack from Luck and Magna. This is where, he was inside the Black Bulls, and this is where he sees multiple chairs and multiple things that he can use. Even though he doesn't have his staffs to kind of send them with them, he did fire staff and all that, but to ignite them and all that, he instead just gets the furniture and starts kind of lighting it all up and sending it straight in high speed straight towards Luck and Magna. Magna gets hit by Luck, managed to twist his body, but this is where Asta grab him from the face. And this is where Asta then says, fire fist punch. This is where he punches, Luck in the stomach. Luck goes, knock him up. This is where Asta then fucking, twisted to the back of him, This is where he decides to back kick Luck into the face. This is where Luck was just like push the win. And this is where, well, everyone is watching this. Even the new recruits, they're like, holy shit, how powerful is he? That's where Asta says, Fire Fist Ace. This is where, well, he kind of called this attack Fire Fist Ace because he just wanted to call it that. But yeah, this is where, well, he sent a very powerful fire from his fist. It was mostly like a fire or flame attack. And of course, this is where, well, Luck gets hit by this and just gets blasted outside, knocked into the trees and knocked out. Yeah. This is where, well, Magna says, I won't give up. Luck! Oh, he's knocked down. This is where he says, I won't give up. He rushes at Asta. This is where Asta twisted, like, underneath him, under his guard. And this is where Asta says, too bad, you lost. Asta left uppercut his shit. Ding! This is where, well, Magna is knocked out for the count. This is where, oh, Asta says, pathetic. This is where, well, Yami says, I don't think you even needed to do that when you already have the Black Bolt robe. But that was okay. So all of you are gonna have to fight Benjimaru now. This is where, well, Asta says, it's Shinma Benjimaru, you fuck. This is where, well, Yami says, yeah. This is where all the new recruits are gonna have to fight against Asta. No one else says, but I'm already have the Black Bolt robe. This is where, well, Yami says, yeah, but I want to see your skills first to kind of determine. That's where all of them kind of went, alright, realize they gotta fight the person who just defeated two of the older members, like both Luck and Magna. Now, of course, they can barely see Luck's speed, but of course, Asta can see it pretty easily. This is where there's no way in hell they're gonna be able to fight against Asta. This is where Asta kind of looks at them, goes in the like in the stand, and this is where all of them are about to like fight Asta. Until Asta says, whatever, you all pass, I'm done. I'm going to sleep. And this is where he kind of like falls into a couch and just starts falling asleep. This is where, well, Yami says, fuck it, you want Vanessa? Vanessa's got it. This is where all of them widen their eyes and sees how fucking, well, yeah, Asta didn't give a shit that much. He just didn't give a shit. This is where, well, we go into a time skip of, well, what's it called? Yami and Magna still losing to a bet. And of course, Asta, who was just getting his staffs from, those staffs that, well, some of the members from Fire Residence were putting around the Black Bolt's resident because, well, Asta needed those things just to fly around. Because he doesn't like using brooms because he can easily burn them. So yeah, he knows that he can fly around with just his feet, but it takes too much energy. But yeah. This is where, well, Asta is kind of just like flying around on one of the staffs, and of course Conroe is telling him not to waste too much energy because what happened if you have to go on an important mission? And of course this is where Yami and Magna come back without clothes. So yeah, this is where, well, Asta looks at both of them, even Conroe, and this is where, well, Asta says, put on some damn clothes. This is where, well, Asta says, there's female here, you fucking idiots. This is where Vanessa says, I don't mind this. Man, Yami looks great. This is where, well, Magna says, what about me? Hey, you look dumbass. This is where, well, both Noelle, what's it called? Noelle, Junko, Karumi, and even, well, Mato kind of just like looked away because what the fuck, put on some damn clothes. This is where, well, Asta, who just seems to care less. Well, he was there telling them to put on clothes. This is where he grabbed some like clothing that he found and just throw them at them and says, here. So, what's the new mission or something? Yeah, so where, well, they say that we lost a mission, we lost a bet, and so we gotta have to go clean out some boars. Well, so it says, got it. Doesn't work. Well, Yami says, but first, what's it called? Magna's going to come along with, well, you, Asta, and, well, you're going to go along with, what's it called, he looks at the new recruits, saying, who the hell should I put you with? Mato. Mato says, sure. This is where, oh, she's going along with that. And of course, she gets her own room because she can fly and all that. This is where Asta's already in the staff and just already flying. This is where, well, Magna says, let's go! This is where they start flying towards the boar place. And of course, when Asta gets to the boars, he easily annihilates them. He kind of like does fire palm to easily knock them out. This is where a bigger like boar appears. This is where he has red eyes, bluish flames, and purple skin. This is where Mato already defeated her side, and this is where Magna is just laying down and resting pretty easily. This is where Asta had an idea. He sees the boar coming towards him, and he sees Magna. This is where, well, he kind of like went towards Magna. He like covered Magna's view, and Magna said, "What do you want, Benjamaro?" Mato says, "Wait, what? Are we done already?" Asta says, "Yep, we're done." Hey, Magna, how do you feel about a boar that has very high magic abilities coming straight towards us? What do you mean? This is where Asta, he kind of jumped away. He kind of like jumped to the left of him, grabbing Mato and like jumping out of the way while the giant boar that was bigger than the other boars rushes towards Magna. And Magna says, "Wait, no!" He gets hit by the boar and the boar launches his ass straight into the sky. Mato's like, "What the? His magic power is strong." This is where, well, Asta says, "Yeah, that's what I was talking about." This is where Mato says, "Why did you grab me?" Again, I didn't want you to get hurt. Even though I wouldn't really care that much, but yeah. Don't worry about it. I'll fight him. This is where Mato says, "But you need help, don't you?" "No, I have an idea." That's right, he pulls out the Demon Slayer and rushes at the boar, and the boar right now attacks him with blue flames, but this is where Asta dispersed him, and right now twists his like body to the side, and kind of like swing the Demon Slayer at the boar, and just cut him. And of course, the boar seems to kind of nullify from the magic, kind of destroying the evil magic that was inside him. That was mostly because thanks to the berries. But yeah, the berry problem that's going to be kind of a problem in the near future. That's where Asta says, "Well, should probably go find the reason why he had that much of a high temper." That's where Asta, he kind of like patched up the boar before leaving. And this is where, well, Mato says, "Are you sure it's okay to patch up an animal like that?" "Why, of course. The animal was only angry thanks to kind of eating something." Whatever. I'll go find the problem. This is where Asta gets his staff and all that, because he's still kind of, well, put it next to a tree. It lights up, and this is where it flies towards him, and he grabs it, and this is where he puts on the floor and all that, and starts kind of flying all the way up. This is where Mato kind of follows him, but yeah. Using what's it called, a broom, but yeah. This is where, well, she says, "Where's the problem?" "Found it." This is where she says, "Where?" There's like these like plants are kind of like growing and kind of dropping fruit that boars eat, and of course they go kind of wild. This is where, well, Asta says, "That's the problem. Gotta get rid of them. But I don't want to hurt the boars." "So do you have any plan, Mato?" Mato kind of like creates this like kind of like dark weapon, like a dark what's it called, rifle weapon. And this is where she says, "I have an idea. I don't know if it works." This is where, well, she concentrated, and of course her dark magic isn't just dark magic. She can create like construct out of what's it called, dark magic, but also able to use these kind of bluish flames from what's it called, like shots out from the what's it called, weapon that she created. This is where she shoots the plants, and of course they start burning, and the boars kind of run away. But yeah, this is where Asta, he appears right in front of the boars because they were going towards the village. And this is where he says, "Fire style, fire, what's it called, swing." This is where he creates a wall of fire, and this is where, well, the boars get scared and run away the other way. This is where, well, Mato says, "Do you think that was okay? If they go to another village, it's fine. I don't really care." This is where, well, she says, "Okay. So where's Magna Senpai?" This is where, well, Asta says he's probably somewhere. Fuck, we're gonna have to look for him. Asta said, this is where, well, Mato says, "Yeah, of course." Right. This is where, well, they go to kind of find Magna. Magna's in the tree stuck in there because, well, fuck. He got hit by a boar, but yeah. But this is where I'm gonna leave it off for part 2 of What If Asta Had Fire Magic / abilities part 2. But yeah, have a nice day, and good night. Bye.